The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
This Social Security measure gives at least some protection
for anybody to hand this out. We're asking for a chance to have the people who will receive the benefit to earn their way. The same principle established under the Social Security system in the 30s.
It is no longer acceptable to discuss women's rights as separate from human rights.
I know we can come together to face down the challenges of our own time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a special edition of Us Democrats here on Access Nashua. We've been away for a while, but we're coming back and hoping to introduce everyone to some of the great candidates we have running for state representative in Nashua. The election is coming up in November very quickly. We're very fortunate to be joined now by the three candidates for state representative in Ward 1 in Nashua. A couple of familiar faces that a lot of people will recognize, and a new face. We have Sylvia Gale, Jan Schmidt, and Pam Swirsky. So thank you all very much for being here with us today. So this is going to be an informal discussion. We want you folks to have a chance, you ladies have a chance to introduce yourselves to voters. Maybe tell them the issues that are most important to you and why you're running for state representative. It's such an important position. There's a lot of good things that can come from being a representative, and we're very fortunate to have such a strong slate of candidates here in Nashua. A woman in Nashua who really needs no introduction. I'm going to have you lead us off here, Sylvia, and if you could just say a few words about yourself and let the voters know why you're running.
Well, thank you, David. So it's a great pleasure and honor to be here today. And, you know, I tell people I'm from New York because I really am, but I've lived in the Nashua area for more than 2/3 of my life. And throughout that time, I've been very involved in a lot of different initiatives. But, you know, getting involved in state politics wasn't really what I thought I would be doing, but it's what I've engaged myself in for the last 10 or so years. And I find it very intriguing, very challenging, sometimes very frustrating, but it keeps me want to keep coming back.
Sure. And this is your third time running. You've served in the House before.
That's right. I proudly served in the House, serving Ward 1 from Nashua in 2013-14. And for the past 2 years, I've been busy doing other things to serve my community and my state. And I'm running again. I hope to be reinstated because I think that the citizens and residents of Nashua Ward 1 deserve responsive and responsible leadership and representation that will listen to their questions, listen to their concerns, and with any luck, put them into effective action, such as we were able to do 2 years ago when a constituent called and said, you know, can we do something about people holding their cell phones while they're driving? Because I just got run off the road again on my commute. And Jan and I took that to task, and we brought forward the cell phone bill that was officially enacted as a handheld cell phone prohibition on July 1st of last year. And the state police and law enforcement professionals across the state say it's helping. It's dramatically reducing some distracted driving crashes and deaths.
Oh, absolutely. And a very common sense piece of legislation that I think most people would say is doing great things for public safety in New Hampshire. Are there one or two issues that you're looking forward to working on?
I was very proud to have cast my votes in favor of Medicaid expansion when I was there before. I am like so many of us, we are so pleased and a little bit surprised that more than 50,000 New Hampshire residents are now covered by health insurance where they never had it before. And one of the best things about this newly found resource for people that never had, that died too soon quite often, frankly, because they didn't have insurance and they couldn't go to the hospital and they just got sicker until it was too late sometimes. But the expanded Medicaid insurance called the New Hampshire Health Protection Program provides, for the first time, insured treatment for substance misuse and abuse and for mental health. Those are two key areas, I think, with all the news about the opioid crisis. If we had not assured that more and more people were able to obtain substance misuse abuse treatment, I think we would be seeing the death toll even higher than it currently is, which is a tragedy in itself.
It's a scary thought.
It is.
Scary thought.
But that's a huge thing, and we need to not only maintain that expansion, but expand it if we can,
Great.
and make it permanent.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for being here today with us.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Jan, you are often seen going door to door in Ward 1 with Sylvia and by yourself as well. And you've also previously served as a state representative.
Yes, I have.
So tell us again, why you're excited to get back to doing that.
It's an amazing opportunity, and I think 400 of us going up to the State House make a big difference for what happens in communities, because we can all communicate together. One of the most important things we can do is learn to work as a group up there. The group that I worked most closely with was the Labor Committee. And in the Labor Committee, we saw tremendous, tremendous bills come through as far as fair pay, as far as taking care of citizens who are working hard. That's why the expanded Medicaid is such an excellent thing for New Hampshire. It's not for people who are using Medicare. This is Medicaid. This is very different. This is people who are working, who can't afford to buy their own insurance, but together they can with the ACA, with the New Hampshire Health Protection Plan. It's actually done a few things that people weren't expecting, such as the workman's compensation. For New Hampshire, is extremely expensive. It's expensive for businesses and expensive for New Hampshire to run. What they're finding is there are fewer people who need it these days. Fewer people who need it because they can get care when they need it and not wait till they're hurt on the job. So there are a lot of things that happen that people aren't expecting that are benefits that come along with bills like this. I've already been asked to join the Labor Committee again because they're really looking forward to a couple of really good, important bills to come through. And I can't wait to get back there.
Great. And so when you're going door to door, what are the issues that people are telling you are most important to them at the state level?
It's amazing how many people really want to have a conversation with you. People who understand the importance of what happens in New Hampshire. Happens at the bottom of the ballot. If you're looking at the ballot, those people that are closest to you when you're holding that ballot are the people who can really make a change in your life. Absolutely. And that's what people are telling me. They're telling me they want people who respond to them. They want people who listen, who understand the issues that happen here. And it's wonderful to talk to people. I'm knocking, and they're saying, "I know your face."
Well, that's good. They've gotten to know you,
is.
and you've knocked their doors for how many years in a row?
Oh, yeah,
now?
exactly.
Which is a testament to the commitment, your commitment to the community.
I think people realize that. After getting to know me those many times I've knocked, I think they realize that it's me. I'm not knocking for somebody else, but it's for me, and they understand that.
And Ward 1 it's a big ward. It's a big ward to cover. So about how many doors will you knock?
We're going to knock every door we possibly can. We'd like to talk to everyone because you're serving everyone in the long run. That's what you're doing, not just one party or not just the independents. We're looking to talk to everybody. Right. And it's amazing how many people understand that.
Great. Well, thank you. And again, thank you for being here.
Great opportunity. Thank you.
And we have Pam Swirsky here with us, who is a first-time candidate for state representative. And so, Pam, can you tell us just a little bit about your background and why you decided to run for state rep?
I'm a retired speech pathologist. I worked in a couple of school districts in New Hampshire before retiring. I've always done volunteer work of one type or another, and it seems that going to Concord, I'll have the opportunity to perhaps reach more people and do more of what I'd like to do for people.
And so as a retired speech pathologist with the volunteer work you've done, what are the issues that you're hoping to work on if you're elected to Concord?
I think that there are so many important issues. I couldn't just name one or two, but I also believe strongly in the expanded health care. I think that we need to back our local businesses and make sure that there are jobs available for our children, our students, when they get out of high school, so that we can keep them here in this area. And to help back the local businesses, I think we need expanded rail. And we need to look at our infrastructure, the bridges, the roads, and the fact that some parts of New Hampshire don't have broadband internet yet. You can't operate a business without broadband internet. Sorry.
No, I was
Go
going to say
ahead.
we're probably pretty lucky here in Nashville that that's
Right.
not an issue, but
Right.
you know, certainly other parts of the state, people are it's an issue that they struggle with.
Yes. And I've always worked with children, so I am specifically interested in women's and children's issues as well. I think that health care for women and children is important. I would like to see the Medicaid expanded, because there are so many things it still doesn't cover.
Sure.
And we need to look at that. And of course, everyone knows the opioid crisis is a problem. For such a little compact state, we have a lot of people who are becoming addicted and who are dying.
That's in it, you know, hearing you three talk about that, you live in not that there's a not nice ward in the city, but certainly, you know, a lot of single-family houses in Ward 1 and, you know, strong families.
We're not exempt.
No, no one's
Right.
exempt,
You're
right?
knocking on doors, people are telling their stories about their families and how tragic this is when you can't find help when you really need it.
Right. Yeah, and it's still a struggle with everything that the governor and what the governor's done to push this legislation through. There's a lot more still to be done. So these are short segments, so thank you. We have about 3 minutes left, so I'd like to give each of you a minute to make a 1-minute statement to voters about why they should vote for you on Election Day. And then also, if you could just tell them, if they want to get in touch with you, want to get more information, how would they go about doing that? So we'll start with Sylvia again.
Okay. Again, my name is Sylvia Gale. I'm running for state representative from Nashua Ward 1, which is Hillsborough District 28. You can always reach me on my cell phone at 603-557-8417. And I wanted to say just a word about the New Hampshire House. Service in the House. While you are there, you're called a representative. I am told that the title, honorable, goes with you even after you have served and you may not be on the clock so much anymore. When I hear that I'm still to be called somebody honorable, I accepted that a long time ago as a challenge to always act honorably and serve honorably to my city and my state. And I really would appreciate your support and your vote on November 8th for Ward 1 voters. That's at the Broad Street School from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. See you at the polls. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sylvia. And Jan, please go ahead.
Well, I think you can take what Sylvia said and you can add my name to it as well. I can be reached at Tesha4@gmail. That's TESHA4@gmail. I really like to hear from people. I answer every single email, and we'll have conversations no matter what they're about. We're there for you. Make sure you vote. It is so important. Get your friends to vote. Get your family to vote. Come out, please. Ward 1 is actually the best ward in the state. More people have registered to vote there, and more people vote every year. We are so proud of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jan. And Pam?
I'm Pam Swirsky, and I would like to make it possible for everyone to contact me. I have a Facebook site. It's Pam Swirsky for State Rep, or you can contact me by phone at 603-882-6949. And we all really do want to hear from you. We want to know what your concerns are and see if we can do anything to help you. I'm hoping that I'll be able to see a lot more people in Ward 1. I've so enjoyed meeting everyone and listening to their concerns. I'd like to say thank you for having us on the show. We've enjoyed being here very much. And please, again, do get out and vote on November 8th. In Ward 1, that's at Broad Street Elementary School. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for being here. Good luck with your elections. While we're taping this, it's about a month to go, a little less than a month to go.
29 days.
Ooh, it's coming up quick. Coming up quick, so 3 great candidates for Ward 1. Broad Street Elementary School moved, the polling place was moved back there this election. 6 to 8 p.m. We'll tell people if you don't have an ID, you can still vote. You just need to fill out a voter affidavit. So there are no excuses. Get to the polls on November 8th. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll be right back with another Ward 2 candidates.
They're out there.
Yes. Thank you.
This Social Security measure gives at least some protection
For anybody to hand this out, we're asking for a chance to have the people who will receive the benefit to earn their way. The same principle established under the Social Security system in the 30s.
It is no longer acceptable to discuss women's rights as separate from human rights.
I know we can come together to face down the challenges of our own time.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.